Kenny. They call me Ken Swift. And I represent 7 Grandmaster B-Boys, 7 Gems Rock Dance Division, New York City. There's a lot of differences. And it wasn't a scene. It wasn't a scene back in the days, because when I started, the scene was more like, it wasn't a b-boy scene. It was a scene of parties. So, it's like you go to the party first, and then maybe you're gonna dance. But it wasn't like go to b-boy. It was just parties. You go to meet girls. This is back in 1978. I'm from the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and it was just like, first it was about going to hang out, write graffiti, ride the subway train, act stupid on the subway train, get dressed up fresh, go look for girls. Nice song comes on, oh shit, I'm gonna show off, I'm gonna dance. So maybe the girl sees me dance. It's that simple. When you're 12 years old, it's very basic. So at that time, it was about more like, just hanging out. The next few years, it became more like, okay, if you started saying, I want to be a better b-boy, and you practice, and then you would go to places where people would break. So you would see a place like a roller skating rink, or maybe even a jam in the street, of course. And then that was what we would call the scene. But now it's a different scene. Now everybody knows exactly what's going to happen. We're going to go break. We're going to go. There's going to be a bunch of breakers there. Blah, blah, blah. So it's a little bit different. Because you're talking 33 years. That's a heavy question. The positive is that this dance is always very important to be exposed as much as it can, so everybody learns about it and knows what it is. That's a positive about big events. It reaches out to a broader audience. I mean, over here, for example, they're reaching the whole city in a specific channel of cable. So it's very important to reach people so they can see it. So maybe it shows more interest. Maybe your little kid sees it, he wants to do it. The negative side is that when corporations become a part of things, they're not really interested in the cultural aspect or the educational aspect of it most of the time. They're interested in their product and the exposure of the product primarily. So the negative side is that there's times where we lose creative control. I don't want to say artists, but as the talent, because we're talent. We make these events. If we don't show up and we don't dance, there's nothing. So they can't do it without us, but sometimes we can't do it without them because they have the finance. So the negative side is losing creative control. If we can maintain creative control to where a corporation doesn't tell us how to dress, doesn't tell us specific things that go against the cultural tradition, if we can maintain integrity with our traditions and do a big event, it's good. But sometimes it's not like that. So I'd say the positive is that it continues to get exposed. It gives dancers opportunities to fly to another part of the world. That's a beautiful thing. I was given the opportunity when I was 16 years old to fly to Europe, and it changed my life. So I mean, I think that it's beautiful to give people around the world, crews, opportunities to travel. But we also have to be careful. That's all. Many times I wanted to, give up and say fuck it, for many, many different reasons. Social, life reasons. Anything from, relationships to, anger and hostility with, jams, anything like also, I can't make no money, what I'm saying? I can't keep practicing and being poor because I have children. My family's saying, what's wrong with this guy? He's already so old and he's still spinning on his head. I mean, there's a lot of things that made me want to give up. And I was cool. I was like, yeah, I could leave this. And I did, but you can't do it that easy. There's something about this dance that about b-boying, and that's my life. That's what I started Break Life for, because Break Life represents my life. No matter what happens in my life, relationships, money, business, etc., it's always been my life, and it's always going to be my life. This is my lifestyle. So when I just think I'm retiring and I leave, all I need to hear is Apache, or give it up or turn it loose, and everything changes, and I'm in the fire, right in the fire every time. For whatever reasons. I'm not a competitive dancer anymore. I don't really have the time to commit to training, because I have bigger responsibilities. I have 3 children. These are my priorities. And I'm not going to put breaking in front of my family. So, but at the same time, because I have a legacy, it's very important for me to stay in, because there's a lot of things that I can share with people around the world. And I have a responsibility as an old school pioneer to do that. So I want to do this, I know that I can't leave. And it's stupid if I left. Right now, I've been dancing 33 years. For me to leave now is so stupid. It's like, this is your life. This is the most, you've been doing this more than anything in your life. So, what I'm doing now is just focusing on education and outreach, and just trying to be a supporter of hip-hop culture. 1996, we were doing Jam on the Groove. We were doing great things. A bunch of different guys that I was dancing with, pioneers and younger guys, and Rocksteady crews. I was in Rocksteady. I was the vice president, and things were going good. But there was business started happening with Rocksteady crew, and it became a priority in certain areas. So I was into battling. I wanted to battle. Me and Flowmaster, Honey Rockwell, we were all just like, a bunch of us was like, let's, no matter what happens with this business, let's dance. We want to dance. We're not worried too much about that. So I felt like it was getting a little bit shaky, so I started a division. I started a chapter of Rocksteady called the 7 Grandmasters. 7 Grandmasters is inspired by a kung fu movie from the 1970s. Called the 7 Grandmasters. The movie was based upon guys fighting in different styles, kung fu. So I like the name, and so we set it off. It was me, Honey Rockwell, Mr. Wiggles, Flowmaster, Orko. There was a bunch of people that were coming in, younger dancers that had the mentality we had. We didn't care if we won, we didn't care if we lost, we didn't care if we drew. If it was a time, we just wanted to battle. And we did, and that was the fire. So from that, the name 7 Grandmasters is a long name, so I said, if I did an acronym, I would say 7GMS. But then I said gems. It sounds like gems. That's a good idea. I'm gonna call it gems, because gems are precious stones. They're like diamonds. But you gotta dig deep in the earth to find these special stones, because the surface is polluted. So when I look at hip hop culture at the time, there was a lot of garbage on the surface of hip-hop culture and b-boy. The information was fucked up, and we had the gems of knowledge. We had the truth. Me and my friends, we were standing up for the truth. So I said 7 gems is a good way to say it. 7 gems. The 7 is the letter G, so 7G, 7 gems. It makes a lot of sense, and it's a movement. 7 Gems is a movement. We have the 7 Gems Rock Dance Division, 7 Gifted MCs, 7 Graph Masters. We got all elements, but it's very underground. The 7 Grandmaster B-Boys is the smallest component. I don't put people in 7 Grandmaster B-Boys. I don't go around the world and be like, oh, can you be on my crew? Because I'm from the old school, and in the old school, you got one crew. You got one crew. You don't have 10 crews. You know what I'm saying? You got one crew that's sincere to it, where you grew up with your friends. That's your crew. So I wasn't trying to say, yo, be in 7 Gems too, and also you could be in your crew. I was like, man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? We got our own legacy. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? And you got your own legacy too. Keep your own legacy. So the biggest component is the rock dance division. I'm around guys that are my age, over 40. Everybody in the rock dance division, primarily, 95% is 40s and 50s. Original dancers from the 1970s. These are guys that I may have seen back in the days we would have battled to, in whatever perspective, because they have the same thing as me. They're as good in their art form as me. So I really respect them a lot. They're my friends. and it's all over New York City. It's not one neighborhood. It's all guys that were there in the 1970s, and we have a family, that we just chill. We older men. We're not kids. We have responsibilities. We can't just go to jams or break dance, or rock dance and all that shit. But when I have my opportunities, I try to bring them with me because I respect them and I like the rock. I've always liked it since I was a little kid. Well, I want to stay happy and I want to stay healthy, because if I can maintain this balance, this is going to let everything else that I want to do in my life exist. We can have ideas, and dreams, but if we're not content with who we are, we're not happy with our life, and we're not healthy, none of these things are possible. So my main thing is trying to stay healthy, take care of myself. It's also about, taking care of my responsibilities, man. My family, being responsible with my kids makes me happy. It makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying? Spending time with my kids, doing what I have to do as a father. This is the #1 priority for me. So as long as I got that, the b-boy shit is always going to be there for me. I can do whatever I want in b-boy. I can, think about going to a country and, flying myself over there and hanging out for like 3 weeks, or 2 weeks, and teaching and having fun and hanging out. But like I said, if I don't have the balance with my responsibilities and my personal happiness, none of that is possible. I would like to go to South America next year and try to finance myself to go to stay in South America, because there's a lot of poor countries over there that are hungry for information. They don't have money. They can't even fly me. But my dream is to try to get a sponsor or pay for myself to go down there and just go in a car all over those countries, the small countries. South America is like Europe, like the United States. It's a continent, but there's many different countries, many different people. And the education down there is essential. The dances are great. Around the world, there's a lot of dancers that could do everything. If you teach them movement, physical, they're going to get it in 1 month, 2 months. It's like if you teach someone to do a push-up. If they do a push-up, 5 push-ups for 1 month, they're going to do 10, and they're going to do 20. We physically can learn, but that doesn't give you b-boy foundation, b-girl foundation. Foundation is a balance of the mental and physical aspects that existed in the 1970s. So, unless there's someone that can articulate it and share it in that perspective, people just learn moves. They don't learn mentality, consciousness, and philosophy. You have to know about these stories of the history, know about what happened to this dance in order to know the future of this dance. So one of my dreams is to go hang out down there and just go to jams and meet all the people, and I hope that happens. I'm not trying to force nobody to do anything. You do what you want. I think that if you're going to call yourself a b-boy or b-girl, you have to do your own work. You have to do your history research of your city, where you live. You have to research who's the b-boys, who's the legends, who's the old school in your city first. No matter what part of the world you are, you have to find out who the old school is in your town. That's #1. When you find these people, you talk to them and you tell them what you do and you share. And then, after you got that, then you go to the New York history and you find out as much as you can from as many people as you can, because you have to know and respect the tradition and the elders. You have to know what they have been through. You have to know the terminology. You have to know the stories, to me, in my opinion. Because when you talk to the old school guys, they're going to tell you about New York anyway. They're going to tell you about Beat Street, Flashdance, all the movies, because this is how many countries learn it, by watching the movies. So they're going to tell you that history, but you have to give them the respect first. Because it's 2011. Every country that has a television in the 1980s, they saw those movies. And they saw hip-hop come to the world from New York City. So I would suggest, learning about your history, don't be afraid to continue to dance in the way you want to dance. Foundation is important to know, and it's important to keep inside of your vocabulary when you dance. It has to be somewhere. If you don't have any type of fundamentals in your breaking, that's cool, but maybe you start to not have the word b-boy. Now your name changes to another category. I like unique, new fusion of different ideas, but the foundation has to have the specific top rock style. It has to have footwork. It has to have freezing, and it has to have spins. That's basically it. You know, flipping in air, what we call air. Those are the main components of b-boy. The most important component to me is footwork. If you take footwork out of this equation, you don't have b-boying. B-boying is the last element that you can visually see that's breaking. If you take it away, you have flips, you have contortion, you have acrobatics, you have specific martial arts. You have so many influences, and this is beautiful. But footwork grounds it on the floor. Footwork is the raw shit. That's the raw thing that I saw, and I said, that's different. I've never seen that on TV. I've never seen that anywhere. That dude's going crazy. I like that. I want to do that. I didn't say, I want to, learn how to top rock, and then I said, that shit down there is dope. That's different. But the completion is top rock, the footwork, it freezes your spins and it flips you. This is the main thing that, in the golden era of breaking between 1976 and 1982 probably, I think was the golden era where most of what you see now was laid down as a solid foundation. Get into the music. The music is the key. I say it all the time. Do your homework. If you're dressed up like a meatball, you ain't a b-boy. These little things people don't think about. They think, oh, I got footwork, I got foundation, I know how to dance, I got musicality. I'm like, yo, dude, there's so much more to being a b-boy, man. You need to really do your homework. Dudes are dressed up in a different lifestyle, and they go tell people, yo, this is what it is, and people believe them. Also, very important, if you're doing your research, don't believe everything you hear. There's a lot of people fronting out here. A lot of people fronting, acting like they know, telling other people's stories. Be yourself. And if you hear a story from someone, beautiful. Find out 10 more stories. Go to more people. Don't go to one person and say, I believe it. Wait. Have patience. Because then you have a lot of stories you can say, okay, I heard this one many times. This must be the truth. I only heard this guy say this. I don't know. I think he was lying. Reality is people lie to get credibility and fame. But for me, if you was not there back in the days, you wasn't doing it, you know what I'm saying? Don't act like you was there. Don't start telling stories. Don't believe the internet too much. So, that's it. Do your research, do your homework, have fun. This is about having fun, bro. Hip-hop is about having fun. Don't forget that. Don't take it too serious. Motherfuckers get too angry. Why are you angry for? It's about freedom. Freedom of self-expression. So, don't take it too serious. Learn the music and enjoy it. Build your foundation. Try to think that you're gonna be a b-boy in your life. It's not that easy. Business and all that shit. Get your foundation, get your education, get your credentials, get your degrees, your trade or your skills, and always use breaking as an outlet. It's very hard to be a b-boy and do business and it's a dream that's very hard. It's like going to Hollywood, same shit. So I would say build your foundation as a man or a woman. Get your credentials to be in society, and always use b-boying as a way to let go and have fun. Because b-boying was never about making money. It was about having fun first. That's the first thing. So peace and respect to all the b-boys out there, Bulgaria, Russia, everybody up there in that north. It's a big place. Hopefully I could come across some of y'all one day, man, to sit down and break bread. Peace from Ken Swift, Kid Wizard. You know what they call me, the Swift Wizard in footwork techniques. Kid Extra Nasty, representing 7 Gems, NYC. 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. We live this. Break life. Holla. Out.